Sammy.
And the question of the day is, when it comes to dating, does height matter?
100%. Yes.
What's the minimum height for a guy to date him? Like bare minimum for a guy.
I'm tall, so probably like at least 6 foot.
How tall are you if you're tall?
5'10".
That's pretty tall.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And then you?
Okay, I'm 5'6", so they have to be like maybe 5'9" at least.
Have you ever dated a guy that was shorter than you though?
100%.
Would you do it again?
No.
Well, why not? Why not?
Because when you throw it back, they're too small.
Okay.
But we still love a short king.
You do? So you did a guy that's 5'2"? You love a short, but he's
Not
personality's
5'2".
there. He's cute,
No,
but he's
I
5'2".
consider a short king like 5'8" and up.
Yeah, that's the below average.
Okay, for me, short king is like 5'2". Yeah, but I'm tall, so 5'8". That's fair.
That's short for you. What's like the perfect height for a guy? If you can have a guy right now and he's like the perfect guy, everything, his height, what is it?
6'5" and up.
6'5".
Oh, and up.
That's like an NBA player. That's an NBA player.
I'm just 6 feet.
That's a perfect height?
That's perfect.
All right.
Okay. I don't want them too freakishly tall.
You don't want no 7-footer.
No,
Okay.
no, not at all.
Here with?
Sammy.
And the
Does height matter?
Yes,
Why does it matter?
it just matters.
Have you noticed any difference between the tall guys that you dated and the short guys that you dated?
I feel like they could get away with more things. A lot of girls like let them treat them shittier because they're taller. I don't know if there's a correlation with that, but I swear there is.
I would let a 6'1" man like fly with like a lot more than I would with a short man.
Does height matter?
Happen to men being the pursuers.
Y'all asked for the sequel, so here it is. Why Men Aren't Pursuing Women, Part 2.
But women are the prize because women, they got a pussy, you know what I mean? Pussy makes the world go round.
A compliment from a man means literally nothing, but a compliment from a woman, now that's something.
I'm taken, and I still love to go shake my ass at a bar with my friends. So
Hate the attention, but then when I feel unattractive and I don't get the attention, it's like, I don't love that either.
I'm not to say men are down here and women are up here.
Okay, so are women equal to men or are women superior to men?
For sure, superior.
Okay. When it comes to dating and relationships, who's typically seen as the prize, the man or the woman?
Bitch. Yeah, the woman.
Okay, so if the woman is the prize, why even bother going out with a man in the first place?
I don't know.
That's a great question.
Ladies, if he says he's got no hoes, that means nobody wants him, so you shouldn't either.
Men think that they are the shit. Why do men think that they have to take money, or why do men think that women have to do cooking, cleaning, all that stuff, and all they do is go to work?
We control the world.
Okay. So if women control the world, why do so many people think it's a man's world? How likely are women willing to accept men for just the way they are?
Not very likely.
We want things, and we're not going to tell you what we want.
Why would you do that?
Because for the sake of being complicated.
So like, what kind of effort do you make? What do you do?
I mean, obviously, if I like someone and I know I'm going to be seeing them, then I'll like put my makeup on, do my hair better than normal.
50% of adults in the United States are single. I wonder why that is.
There are a lot of cool men out here. I love the president. Let's give it up for the brothers. There's a lot of cool men out here. For the men out here. I love the president's speech saying you're looking at a feminist. What can men do leaving here? Be better. Be better at everything.
Men are taught that they have to make women happy. The fact of the matter is, you can't make anybody happy. You have to make yourself happy. Happiness is a byproduct of achievement. So for women to say that they're unhappy, it's their own fault. Anybody who says he's unhappy, it's his own fault. Everybody has to make himself or herself happy.
You're giving me such a bloody headache. Yeah, I mean, where are you from? Where are you from? Dear Lord, I would never in a million years teach my girls that they have to grow up to be reliant on a man, as you can well imagine. I would never teach my son that he should be attracted.
But Tracy, you're the same one. You're the same one who brags that she's so strong and so tough and doesn't need a man's money. Yet you're taking alimony.
City boy, city boy.
Got him. We fucking got him.
That's why it's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Welcome, my friends, to the RP Experience. Peace and love to my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on all notifications so you know when I have a whole new video up. Today's video is going to be about, do women care about height? Now, for men, you can get a rude awakening if you're under 6 foot, 5'10", maybe even 5'9", if you go on dating apps, which is why I do not go on there. I have like bad luck on there, and the women that I would get is definitely not what I'm looking for. But at the same time, I support that people should have their preference. And in a way, I'm glad in real time I can see how a lot of women think, but it's not all women. And actually, I have a video right here that I'm going to share right now before I get to the main video to prove this point.
A lot of girls say they don't care about, but the truth is they do. I don't care how tall he is. I would totally date a short guy if he was like super hot and had a ton of money. I'm not telling you this to give you an even bigger complex about being short. I am a short dude. Personally, it has never bothered me. I've always dated women that were shorter than me though, and that's kind of the takeaway. The truth is, you rarely see women that are like tall dating like short men. I'm not saying that it can't happen or it doesn't happen. Once in a while, you'll see a tall woman dating a shorter dude, but the fact is, most women, from my experience, want to date a dude that is as tall as them or a little bit tall.
And that's the full reality. So it's not 90% of women that says that a guy has to be 6 foot and they're only like 5'4" or 5'5". Like, I know that's my sweet spot right there, which I don't like the woman when she's too much shorter. Like 5'1" is pressed now, unless if she's like super attractive. But 5'3", 5'4", 5'5", getting into perfect territory right there. So I understand a woman's side here, that they feel more comfortable with a guy that is taller or at least about their height. Now, you can prove this to yourself when walking around, because a lot of jobs that I've worked, the customer service industry, whether you can say it's the zoo, the amusement parks, restaurant industry, when I'm working in those types of fields right there, I will see some women that's taller than their men, and they are married and have kids. I'll see a lot of women and men that's around the same height. Now, that's the only thing I hate about those street interviews, is kind of like that beer beverage virus that was going around. I'll hear one thing online that seems like it's a landslide, that everyone thinks that way, but when I'm walking around outside, I don't see that same reality. So, but it does get validated when I look at most women's dating profiles, or what they require the man to have on a dating site. And at the first and foremost is usually the height. Now, a lot of these women are really attractive women, and I do notice the women that have the most stickler with this height thing, not always, but I go by the percentage. Those really attractive women that work in like an entertainment field or something, where they're actors, actresses, singing and things like that, they will definitely require a man to be like 6 foot plus. And that is why a lot of them will get spun around by the basketball players, maybe football players, and those guys that tend to fit the bill. So this is why a lot of men will say to go to the gym, because your height you can do nothing with, but you can still work on your physique. So I accept the fact that women feel that kind of way. Anyway, I got the main video right here, and this is going to talk about the negatives with this and how this does destroy some men.
I asked women to explain to me why height matters in a relationship. My only rule is that you guys had to stay body positive, and I got over 10,000 comments and almost 1,000 stitches of women explaining why height matters in a relationship. A lot of women explain that they want a man to be taller so they can feel feminine. They want to feel protected. They want to feel security. A lot of women explain that they're taller themselves and they've been told by shorter men that they're too tall and they want a man that's bigger so they can feel more feminine. I don't want to.
But however, if you're going to play that way, then you can't say nothing when men have a preference of weight. You know. Now I do think it's wrong if you're in a relationship with her and she just gains a couple of pounds. Now, if she totally goes overboard and you two don't have a good relationship on top of that, then the same way that the woman can get unhappy and leave, then the man should be able to leave because she put on too much weight. You know, just being fair.
Tell this story. This is a really hard story to tell, but I feel like it's 100% necessary because it's the reason I made the video in the first place. I had this friend. He was 5'4", extremely athletic, charming, kindest guy ever, super competitive, the nicest man, extremely attractive, really good dancer, life of the party. And a year before he took his own life, he opened up to me one night and he explained to me that he'd been suffering in silence and he was extremely depressed because his entire life he had been ridiculed and he had been picked on because of his stature. And he told me what hurts the most out of everything that he had ever been through is how women would never take him seriously because of his height. He'd start talking to a girl, and what's the question they always ask, gentlemen, every time you start talking to a girl? How tall are you? He never made it past that point. And when he did make it past that point, because the question was never asked or he never gave that information, he was told to his face every single time, even when they started dating for a little bit or whatever, that they could never be together because he was too short. Can't imagine what it was like to live in his shoes, and we talked about it more and more, and everyone tried to encourage him, but he got into alcohol, it spiraled out of control, he got severely depressed, and he ended up taking his own life. Every time I see comments where it's like, but how tall are you? Or I'm talking to a girl and they're like, how tall are you? I think of him every single time. And I'm watching all these videos of all these women just explaining happily, carefree, why it's okay to just turn a man away because of his height. And furthermore, explain to that man that he's not tall enough, that he's not adequate enough. I know a lot of men that struggle with this, and it is not okay. To wear heels? Some of these answers were atrocious. Can you imagine missing out on a person because of your shoes? Because he can reach things for me. It's called a step stool. It is not okay in any way, shape, or form to turn someone away, to reject somebody, to tell someone that you do not want to be with them for something that is out of their control, for their physical features. That is cruel. I get everybody has preferences and that's fine, but asking a girl how tall she is or asking a man how tall he is and then rejecting them before you even get a chance to know him, can you imagine the mental toll that takes on someone? It goes both ways, gentlemen. You ladies are way too comfortable asking guys how tall they are and turning them away, and you do not understand the mental strain and the toll it is taking on them. It's something I've never had to deal with. It's something that I've never been insecure about, but you guys need to chill out for real. You need to think about this. I've never told a girl how tall I am when they've asked, and every time a girl has, I've said the same answer every single time, 5'4".
Okay, he's nicer than me, because if a woman asks me my height, and it does depend because this is over text or over phone, and men will tend to lie in their profile or get themselves a bump. But if I think she's asking me in a sarcastic kind of way, and she asks me, what's your height? I'm going to ask her, what's your weight? Because I prefer women between 120, 135, maybe 140, depending on her height and how it feels out on her body. I mean, to be honest. And I'm not one of those black guys that like a woman that's really thick. Now, I dated a girl that was thicker than what I usually go for because me and her hit it off so well. And usually I go by if I can lift a woman up. I know she was at least, now she was taller than me, like I think about like 5'10", 5'9" or something. and she had at least been like 160, 170. I mean, she wouldn't tell me her weight, so obviously she was self-conscious, but I was able to pick her up. So yeah, I got some muscle right there. So I was cool. But however, that's another story. She monkey branched to somebody else. So because of her, I probably will never go to that weight again. Even though that's not my preference anyway. Anyway, getting back to what we was talking about. To women out there, it's okay for you to have preferences of a certain height that you want or something. It's a free world. But as I say a bit earlier in this video, if the guy wants a certain weight, or he wants long hair, or he wants a certain skin tone or something, but anyway, I'm going to stay on the thing that seems to correlate with height here, because men generally do not care about woman's height unless if you are reaching dwarf level most of the time. But or either you are like skyscraper, like, because I think there are some women that might be like 6'5", 6'8", or something, even though they probably play in the WNBA. Yeah, those might be extreme levels, but most women fall into the level that men don't care about your height. Now, with women, even women that are overweight, they want height and they want you to have a certain physique. I won't hear too many women saying they want a fat guy, even though fat guys can get women, and some women may love them really love them for the person that they are. A lot of them do go for the fact that they have money or something. Maybe they tend to be funny too, but most of the time it's something that she's benefiting from, so she will kind of let it slide. Now, men are not that way. Some men have fetishes for like weight or something, but most men want a certain kind of weight. And don't stereotype me, because I know a lot of black men like big women, but I am not one of them. So, because I kind of look at it as, if I'm going to the gym trying to be healthy, she should be healthy as well, to be fair. Anyway, it's not too much to add with this. I understand why women do that. Like, I guess the hill thing, I think it's more of a safety thing, that probably their dad was like taller than like the mom, because I think it always goes back to like the dad. Unless if they had like a short dad or something, they will tend to pick guys that fit that type of thing right there. So, oh, and before I forget, that guy that was 5'4", then maybe he should start going for Asian women, or where he was at, maybe he was surrounded by like more models or something, or dancers, or women that are superficial. Because I mean, that is a superficial thing. So I don't want to hear that women are not superficial, and neither women are superficial too. We as men have been letting them get away with it. I'm like, fuck that, no more of that. As long as it's even, then we'll be okay with that. And I don't think it's too much more that I want to add. And also, this is Men's Health Month, June, not just the Rainbow Month. Hit the like button going out and subscribe.